Hey everybody, this is Nikki and I'm here to do a quick, I hope, video that's personal experience, personal whatever, no medical advice whatsoever. I'm doing a video on EverSense Senseonics, and this is the implantable CGM, the 90-day, the one and only implantable CGM that's good for 90 days. And I'm doing the video because I had been really excited about trying it out. And it's turned out to be not a thing at all, and mostly because the company had announced at the end of March that they were stopping their sales, for new customers, and it was looking like the company was folding. And I actually think the company was folding prior to the start of coronavirus, but I think coronavirus kind of put the nail in the coffin. So I did manage to get down right before quarantine started, and I did manage to get it implanted. And I was excited about doing that because, from my understanding, it was going to be the sensor technology that was going to be used in the Beta Bionics ILet Dual Hormone Pump, which I think is a really exciting pump. But I can't even figure out if that's still the case. It sounds like EverSense Senseonics is not folding necessarily. They describe it as hibernating, and it looks like they're maybe holding on, hope that they'll either be acquired by another company. It looks like they're continuing to try to get their 180-day sensor pushed through FDA to get the approval. So I'm not sure they're dead. But I cannot find any information as to whether or not they are still slated in as the sensor to be used with Beta Bionics ILet. And from what I understand about Beta Bionics ILet, they're continuing to do the clinical studies. It looks like everything is kind of on, it's on schedule. So it looks like they're moving forward, and they do mention a CGM. They're just not mentioning it by name. So I don't know. So I wanted to try this out to see what kind of technology was going to be used in the dual hormone pump. And I'm not sorry that I got it in. I'm sorry that I got it in right before coronavirus. And that's only because I like to test my sensors, and I'm usually very excited about my sensors. And I was not excited about this one from the very beginning, mostly because I've been distracted by stuff in the news and by, the things that are happening outside, outside. So the only thing I will say about its performance, mostly because I don't know if it matters anymore, is that it appeared to perform very similarly to the Freestyle Libre, which in my case, what that would do is it would kind of overshoot my highs. So especially on a fast rising blood sugar, it might show me as 20 or 30 or 40 points or mgdls, above where I actually was. And it was kind of conservative on my lows. So it was much like the Freestyle, with the exception that it required a lot of maintenance, which the Freestyle Libre doesn't. And in fact, it's one of the things I love about the Libre is that once you get to know its patterns, you just put it on and you leave it on for 14 days. There's little maintenance. With this one, there's more maintenance, and the calibrating schedule is kind of annoying. Again, I don't know if I gave it a fair shake because of everything going on, but I will say that you're supposed to calibrate twice a day, and if you fall off track, then sometimes the consequences are that you have to start back in with the initialization phase, which requires 4 calibrations within 24 hours. So what happened is every time I fell off track because of just a million things going on, I'd re-enter that first stage. And then I'd have to get up in the middle of the night to calibrate. And a lot of times it doesn't give you the reading for the first 12 hours, whatever it is. So it felt like at some points it was all maintenance rather than a CGM that was giving me a number. I don't think this would typically be the case for me, although I did think it was interesting because this does seem to be what happens when you can't stick to the schedule. And I know I've definitely in my past not been able to stick to the schedule, and I'm revisiting that now in my coronavirus life. But okay, anyway, I was going to show you really quick how you put it on and kind of what it was. I don't know if this is coming back around or not, but here is my transmitter. And in here, this is my G6, and in here is, you can actually see the suntan line. That's where they've implanted the sensor. So in order to, let's see if I can get it out first. We got it, okay. In order to get a reading, the first thing I have to do is I have to attach my transmitter, and I'm gonna have to place it onto, over top of the sensor. And the way I would do it is, I'd line this up. It's not really like an instructional thing, so we'll just do it quickly. I line it up. I peel off the stickers. My other sticker's already off. I guess I did that. So you kind of wrap it around like that, and then I peel off the back. And I will say, before I got the suntan, you have a placement guide, which is on your app, on your EverSense app. And just to kind of show you what the process was, I have 25 notifications from them. It's saying that there are no sensor detected, and it's going to ask me if I want to go to the placement guide. So I will say I want to go to the placement guide. And I don't think I can hold this up while I do it. Maybe I can. While I try to guess where it is, I would look for that. I would look for a sign here that I got it right. So I'll just look for my suntan, and we'll see if that does it. Okay, low. Very low. Poor. That's with a suntan. I'm just going to go ahead and do this because this is what it's like putting it on, and there are sometimes it takes me forever. So right now I'm going to do that though. I actually don't even, oh, excellent, there we go. And that would be it. That's how I would go ahead and place it. I'd say done. It's going to tell me that I have to replace my sensor soon, and I just skipped to that message. I don't know what it is. Initialization phase, 4 calibrations to go. I felt like I lived in this. It turns out it's not worth it. So I don't know whether or not it's going to be a possibility in order for me to get in a new sensor, because it sounds like EverSense said they're going to take care of their existing customers for an indefinite amount of time, but I don't think I'm interested in getting another sensor anyway. And if this is the technology they're using, the only thing I'd say is that if this is the technology they're using for the ILet, it will be very interesting, because on the one hand, for an automated insulin delivery, it would be a little bit of a concern to have a sensor that overshoots, just the way for me the Medtronic would undershoot my blood sugar on a regular basis, therefore delivering, resulting in a smaller delivery than what I needed. I would think that a sensor that constantly was overshooting my blood sugar would then result in an insulin delivery, a basal rate that would be too aggressive. But that would be on a single hormone pump. So I don't know if you bring in the second hormone, whether or not that's the same concern, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's able to, I have no idea what that algorithm would be, but maybe it's able to make adjustments to help, keep you afloat in case it's been too aggressive. I felt like there was other things I was going to say. I do have some logs. I do have numbers. I just didn't feel like running them all. I spend a lot of time calibrating this thing. So if anybody wants numbers, I'd be happy to share them. And I would just say I did have to charge this once a day. You can take this right back off again and re-stick it. So I would have it fall off sometimes, and you can re-stick it. That's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes, it's just not sticky, even on a new, I'm just talking, I don't even know why I'm saying it. That's it. That's my review. So, okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if anybody's interested in numbers, I would be more than happy to share. And if anybody's interested in the glucagon information, because that is what I'm continuing to work on, that part I'm really excited about, and I am logging that on a regular basis, and I have been testing whether or not the mixed glucagon solution, whether or not once you've mixed it, if it's good for a week like I had been told. And so far, I gotta say, I think it's good for a week, and now I'm hoping to get, testing into 2 weeks. So that's kind of cool stuff. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope everybody is having a splendid Monday, or whatever day of whatever year it is. Okay, bye.